CRO has been on a huge run over the past month, up 143%, following Crypto.com and the Chronos team releasing their roadmap into 2025, which does have some important updates coming for CROcoin, including burns, visa buffs, and much more. Now, in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show, I want to break down the recent announcement from Crypto.com, which could potentially bring a ton of liquidity to the Chronos chain, which is the introduction of Crypto.com wrapped Bitcoin. You can expect to hear about all of this as well as an update on the price action for CROcoin in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor do I offer any sort of financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find the videos informative and entertaining, please consider hitting that sub and like button. And I appreciate all the support on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. And thank you for the 25,000 subscriber milestone that we just recently passed. So I do want to hop right into today's altcoin of discussion, and that is going to be CRO. But as we generally do at the beginning of these videos, I do want to start off just by providing an update on the overall market structure, and that's going to include taking a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the altcoin index, as I do believe we are entering the phase of the cycle where we will see alts start to outperform Bitcoin. So I do think it's worth talking about, and the first chart that I want to take a look at is Bitcoin here. And as we can see, Bitcoin did come close to actually reaching 100K on the last weekly candle. The highest price recorded on CoinMarketCap came in at $99,655. So just about $345 off of that 100% milestone. And I would imagine that there are some pretty big sell walls at that level, as we have seen Bitcoin kind of stall out. However, before it fell to about 90.8K earlier this week, Bitcoin has seen a nice bounce and now sitting at 96.6K. And it looks like it potentially wants to make a run back up to the $100,000 zone. So if you've been with the channel for a while, we've been talking about Bitcoin just making this set of lower highs here since that local top in March. And we were basically saying that once Bitcoin broke this trend, that we'd probably see a pretty nice move to the upside. And what we can actually see here, if we take a look at the 6-month chart and get on some 2-hour candles, is we saw a break above the downtrending channel. We saw a back test of it as support, so flipping this prior resistance into a level of support, and then boom, from there Bitcoin saw a huge breakout. If we actually measure the breakout on Bitcoin just from over here in mid-October when we got above the downtrending channel, it's up about 47% since mid-October, so about a month and a half, and Bitcoin has returned just under 50% gains, as it is looking to make its way back up to 100K with this nice green candle that was put in yesterday. Now, what I find interesting about this market structure at the moment is that while Bitcoin did kind of stall out at 100K, I don't necessarily think that this money left crypto completely, because if we take a look at the altcoin market over the past week, we can see Stellar up 94%, Sandbox up 86%, Ethereum name service up 73%, TIA 62%, and you can just see the list goes on. So, you know, a lot of this liquidity from Bitcoin, I'm assuming, has kind of been reallocated into the altcoin market, and that does set us up nicely for what I believe is an incoming alt season. Now, I do want to take a look at Ethereum as well, and we usually take a look at, you know, just Bitcoin and the altcoin index, but I wanted to just take a quick look at Ethereum today, because unlike Bitcoin, it has not taken out that March high, which came in at about $4,100. However, with the move that we saw from Ethereum yesterday, it actually looks like it is trying to break out, and at the moment it has broken out of this downtrending channel that began with those levels seen in March. So if Ether can close a weekly candle above this downtrending channel here, potentially even back test it as support, we could start to see Ethereum make a run back for that March high, and hopefully much higher than that, in the coming months. Now, in terms of the altcoin index, so this is the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, effectively the value of all altcoins bundled into a chart. And yeah, we can see it is broken out above the March high at 788 bill, currently sitting in 923 bill. The next area of resistance I would be looking for comes at that $1 trillion zone. However, if we do see some sort of reversal in market structure, I could see it actually coming back down to retest this March, that March resistance there, validate it as support, and then continue on its way to the upside, which I also believe would be a bullish scenario for altcoins. Now, given that I do believe we are entering, the phase of the cycle where alts outperform Bitcoin, alt season, I do want to, kind of talk about some altcoins, and we have been covering altcoins here on the channel that have been making tons of moves for this bull run, okay? And CRO has definitely, been one of those, backed by Crypto.com and the Chronos team. Now, the price action on CRO has not been great, okay? We can actually see here, if we take a look at this altcoin on the chart, it's still down something like 80% from its highs in the last cycle. Yeah, so it's down about 79%, 80% from its highs seen in the last cycle. And it looks like Crypto.com and the Chronos team are trying to turn this around with their roadmaps, which do include some, some updates, some upgrades, and just additional incentives for people to buy and hold CRO. The burns, the Visa buffs, and what we actually saw Crypto.com do today was potentially look to get more liquidity into the Chronos chain, which does use CRO as its native token. And it appears like they're looking to do this by introducing Crypto.com wrapped Bitcoin. So they talk about it here on the channel. We are thrilled to announce the launch of Crypto.com wrapped Bitcoin, backed one-to-one by native Bitcoin held in Crypto.com's cold storage. CDC BTC allows holders to participate in dApps and effectively use Bitcoin for DeFi protocols on the Chronos chain. So benefits of CDC Bitcoin: Bitcoin made adaptable for DeFi, overcome the Bitcoin's blockchain's DeFi limitations, and engage with smart contracts using CDC Bitcoin, seamless wrapping and unwrapping. So effectively, you can actually buy Bitcoin in the Crypto.com app, and then when you go to withdraw it, you can withdraw it as CDC Bitcoin, and it will be sent to your Chronos chain address. So what I think is really cool about this is Crypto.com has streamlined a way for somebody to actually just buy Bitcoin, and then by transferring it to the Chronos chain instead of to a Bitcoin address, it will automatically be sent as wrapped Bitcoin, as opposed to buying the Bitcoin, withdrawing it, and then doing some sort of a cross-chain transfer, through DeFi. Crypto.com has kind of streamlined the process a ton here, which will make it easier for people to access their Bitcoin on the Chronos chain if they so choose. We know that they did also make a similar thing here with Ethereum. Or basically they offered CDC ETH, which can be transferred to the Chronos chain. So we can actually take a look here at the announcement, and they do mention right off the bat that you can actually use your CDC BTC on VVS Finance. Now, VVS Finance is the largest DEX on the Chronos chain. We can see here that it has 308.44 mil in TVL of the 759 million total value locked. And yeah, we can basically see here that CDC, CRO to CDC BTC is a liquidity pool here that is on the Chronos chain. Now, personally, this is not something I would do with my Bitcoin. However, I do like seeing the Crypto.com team looking to, just introduce Bitcoin to the ecosystem with this launch of their very own wrapped Bitcoin. And it is nice to see Crypto.com, looking like they're trying to support CRO more, as well as the Chronos ecosystem as a whole. We did recently discuss on the channel how Chris Marzalek, the CEO of Crypto.com, did add CRO and Bitcoin back into his bio, which was not here a couple of weeks ago. So it looks like Crypto.com is looking to just offer more support and more incentives to buy and hold CRO, and potentially looking to drive more volume onto the Chronos chain. And increased usage of the Chronos chain where CRO coin is the gas token. It should lead to increased demand for CRO coin itself to actually make these transactions via Chronos. Now, if we take a look at the total value locked on Chronos, this once was a top 10 blockchain. At the moment, it's sitting in 18th place, if I'm not mistaken. So it is no longer in the top 10, and it hasn't been for a while now. But it does, yeah, we can see it's here in 18th place. But it does look like Crypto.com is looking to incentivize more people to use the Chronos chain. And we also did discuss the Chronos roadmap recently on the channel, so feel free to check that out if you so please. Now, to wrap things up, I do want to take a look at the CRO coin chart, and I'm going to put us on a log scale here to just kind of paint a clearer picture of what I'm looking at exactly. So if we take a look at this chart here, the next area that I am eyeing for the price action is this 20-cent zone. And if we actually go ahead and take a look here, I'm just circling all the times that 20 cents was basically a significant area for the price action. It did act as some, it was over here as support in 2021 until it broke down in April. And then we saw it bounce off the 10-cent level of support, get rejected at 20 cents, go in for another retest. And this is when CRO coin broke above 20 cents and went on that big run that we saw in the last bull market. It pumped about 360% from that breakout. And this was, in line with the Crypto.com arena, changing the Staples arena to the Crypto.com arena. And yeah, we did see that nice run from CRO. Now, on the way back down in the bear market, so in 2022, we actually did see CRO coin break below 20 cents, try to get above it on a couple of weekly candles, got rejected. And then, yeah, from there, it dropped 50% down to 10 cents, which was the next significant area of support. We saw the collapse of FTX, a lot of FUD directed at Crypto.com, and boom, CRO fell another 50% down to 5 cents. Now, if you've been with the channel for a while, you know we were talking about CRO at that 5-cent zone being a steal. I felt that a lot of the FUD was just really unwarranted towards Crypto.com, and that did end up being the case as they have continued to build and grow their exchange. And if you take a look at the price performance from the 5-cent level, this coin is up about 286%. However, once again, it's still down 80% from all-time highs. So if you believe that CRO can actually make its way back up to its prior cycle highs at 96 cents, that would reflect a further move of 420% to the upside. And I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying that if you believe CRO can make its way back up there, yeah, you'd be looking at a gain of about 420% from current levels at the 18-cent level. But first thing is first, I am looking for a break above 20 cents. And if we do break above 20 cents, I don't see any significant resistance on this chart on a longer time frame until the 37.5 to 38 cent zone. Now, if CRO does break down, if we do see some sort of a market reversal, the first area of support I would be looking for is at the 15-cent level, which did act as some resistance here in 2022, and also over here in April of 2024 after we saw that top at March back at about 18.5 cents, and below that I would be looking for 12.5 cents as the next area of support. So those would be my downside targets. An upside target again would be a break above 20 cents, in which case I'd be looking for that move back up to the 37 to 38 cent range. So on that note, I hope you all enjoyed the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.